Find your path with the knowledge of others and become an illuminator for those who struggle. Guide their way just by being true and being in alignment, because it comes naturally to you. On self-discovery wisdom, we share to find inspiration with lessons for millions. We hope you listen.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sarah's View of Life right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Well, I don't know if anybody watched the Oscars the other day. I haven't seen all of the movies. The two runners, Sinners and One Thing After the Other, I have watched, and both very well deserving for all the awards that they got. But it also kind of made us look at the kind of movies that are out there. When we look at Sinners, and if you haven't seen it, fabulous on all accounts, and you know, when we're looking at the people that are playing it, and it becomes something that we look at and see what it affects like today. Like, you know, Sinners is based in the South, early 20s, and, you know, a couple of people that have been a bit of gangsters. They're played by brothers by, what's his name? Sorry, I know his name. It's right here. Well, of course, Ryan Coogler is the director, and he won for that. And you had Michael B. Jordan, and he played twins. And as some people pointed out, actually, he played three brothers because he plays a vampire as well. And him playing those twins, you know, it's like when you're watching it, you completely forget it's being played by one actor. And excellent acting. But he's been acting for 13 years. And so, you know, he was in Black Panther, and he was in Panther, rather, and he was in Creek. He's played his dues, but most certainly so well deserving. And then there was this young actor who plays the kind of the guitarist, and boy, oh boy, this guy not only has a sensational voice, Miles Carton, but just there's something about him, his aura, just absolutely wonderful. And all of the performers were just absolutely fantastic. Delroy Lindo, and Lee Jung Lee, and then Jamie Lawson, and Wumni Mosuka. All of them were just absolutely fabulous. They brought the story alive. But it is an old story, and it's a story of, you know, of racism. It's a kind of a vampire story, although that is, the emphasis isn't on being the vampire. It's how you become the vampire. And there's this most brilliant scene where this young man is playing the guitar and unknowingly opening you up to the devil and sending the vampire. And just sensational, the dancing, and it kind of incorporates the now, the past, the future of music, and the influence and the dancing. Just a brilliant scene. And they did this at the Oscars, recreated it there. Absolutely phenomenal. And the ballet dancer, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, who actually has been in retirement, had hip surgery back in December, came out and danced in it as well. And so moving. And the movie itself is, you know, very poignant of, have we come any further? Who are we praying to? What are we giving into? And it's just, I know, kind of very deep, really deep, hits you really deep in the soul, really deep in the gut. And the music brings it together. And the acting was absolutely superb. And then, of course, you had, you know, One Thing After Another, which is another thing. Like, how many of us are saying, like, it's just one thing after another. It just keeps on going. When is it going to stop? And this is that kind of scenario. Leonardo DiCaprio's daughter is captured. And it's they're on the run. He's trying to look for her. They're up against the government. And I tell you, those government scenes, well, let's say hidden government, the people that are kind of running things from underneath, and the purist society. Um, and very much a reflection on what we're seeing in our face right now in politics in America, especially. And a few of those leaders in the world that feel that there's too many humans in the world and they want to get rid of them and put artificial intelligence in its place instead. And they're doing their best with wars, with detention camps, and with everything else to annihilate people, disease, denying medicine, denying education. All of that is in play to erase a certain amount of humanity from this world, leaving people like them behind, which, no, thank you. Let's rather erase all of you lot and go back to the natural place of things, which is where we're in tune with earth, we're in tune with the hearts and souls and spirits, we're in tune with each other and not pitted against. So a lot of it, all of these movies is the pitting against, is the either or. Is that you are different, so therefore cannot be accepted. And kind of that theme, no matter what the movie is running through everything. And I think this is where we're at in the world, isn't it? We're looking at you're different, so therefore, and saying you're different, and I'd love to know, understand you better. Where are you coming from? What's your perspective so I can understand it? And to actually understand that so many of our perspectives are fundamentally the same. We just see them from different angles. And when we're kind of walk around the square and we start looking at everything from different angles, we realize some people see triangles, some people see rectangles, some people see octagons, this, that, or other. It all comes down from perspective from where you're standing. And I think if we made the effort to kind of get to know each other instead of pitting against each other, we wouldn't be open to the devilish ways that are going on right now, the evil that is being reflected not only in movies and TV shows, but in life, in real life right now. You could not, 10 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, you could, but 13 years ago, anybody came up with a scenario of what's happening in the world right now, especially in America and Israel, we would not believe it. And Iran, of course, we would not believe it. We'd just say this is just pure fiction. And the movie that was put out a year and so ago called Civil War on Netflix, highly recommend you watch it if you haven't. It's the war with a certain president in his third term. So many people are being pitted against each other that you're either on this side or that side. And if they disagree with you, you're dead. Even if you're a brother or grown up with you all your life, you're dead. And this is taken from the perspective of the photographers, the reporting for photographers. So they don't intervene, they photograph. And it's kind of the final days. It's guttural. It'll hit you in the guts. It will stay with you. And it needs to stay with you because it is a warning that if you don't take care of business right now, that's where you're going. And I remind you, 12 years ago, did you ever think all the shoot that's gone down in the last 10 years? Would you have believed it with what's gone down in the last year in America? Would you have ever believed it? You was a pure fiction. So when you look at a movie called Civil War and you think pure fiction or a warning, and all of it always comes down to the handful of people who want control and are prepared to annihilate others any which way they can to have that control. And those people, like Bill Gates and a few others, Elon Musk and Stephen Miller, and there's another very dangerous man, which I'm afraid I can't remember his name. They're all trying to get rid of most of the human race, replace it with AI, and only have a few elitists, elitists being people like them. The only trouble is with elitists, they eventually turn on themselves because there's nobody else to turn on. But I don't want to wait around to see that. I would like to turn on them, not with violence, but with accountability, with us stepping up as a human race and saying, no, we're just not going to put up with that. We're not going to go down your um, authoritarian way. We're not going to hand you your kind of future. Uh, do we need less people in the world? Yes. Um, Only in the sense of that we do not know how to sustain ourselves. And the thing is that the planet has everything to sustain us, but we are incredibly wasteful creatures. And we don't know how to grow, but we do know how to destroy. And if we could all come together in a platform of growth, then we would not be so destructive. And there was a very interesting conversation being had between a young man asking about Star Trek and this, Star Trek Academy that's on right now. And oh, let's see if I can remember who it was with. Forgive me a moment. I'm just going to have to look it up. Um, oh, what's his name? We see him all the time. He's the science guy. Um, and of course, just because I want to find his name, I can't find it, but I'll keep looking while I'm talking. Anyway, the conversation was the young man asked a very intelligent thing about in the future in the Star Trek, it reveals that money is not money, that you don't have people powering over each other. Everybody has the equality of what they want, they can get, and there isn't the need for the opulence versus. And it's all about the equality with humanity. And they said, how do we see that? And they said, one, um, there is no currency, right? Everybody has access to, because the replica can replicate anything. So instead of I've got an orange and you haven't, I either share it with you or I eat it and bugger you. It's now I can replicate two oranges and we can both have an orange. So, when we have the erasement of scarcity and one group having and the other group not, when we erase that, we're all on the same playing field. When we erase money being the dictator of the currency, instead of humanity being the currency, then we look at equality and we don't have these higher trillionaires. We have instead people that are there to serve humanity because nobody is lacking. Everybody has. And they fight then um, the evils in the universe rather than each other, because everybody's come together for the common good, for the humanity's good. I'm afraid I can't find the name of the guy, so if I find it, I'll put it in the script of the show. But it's very interesting when you look at it that way. Why do some people have all the power and others don't? And it's scarcity. They make what you want scarce. They make you work hard for it. They tell you you can't have it, you don't deserve it, you don't belong, you're not educated enough, you're not powerful enough, you're not this enough, so therefore you can't have. If everybody had, to some degree, the same, like not worrying about housing, not worrying about food, not worrying about health, not worrying about education, if all of those things were covered, where everybody had an equal playing field, look at what we would focus on. We'd focus on creativity. We have the harmony of stability. So now we can focus on community and creativity and see where we go. But certain people don't want us to have that because they want that all for themselves and they just want to make slaves out of you. Well, if they bring in automation like AI and robots, then they don't even need you. So now you're just dead weight and they want to get rid of you. And this is their thinking. So when we look at what movies are coming out, TV shows are coming out, they are reflecting what's going on. They're reflecting the behind the scenes, the current change that needs to change. Whether it's done in a movie, the Sinners like set back in the 20s, or whether it's done, one thing after the other, which is current time, it's still reflecting the oppression, the greed, the need for control. And instead of, the harmony that we all seek. I mean, in one thing after another, they're protesters. They're out there bombing places to bring about awareness. They're extremists, right? And so, of course, it comes back to bite them in the butt and things change. But then it becomes one thing after the other. And you can see why they're doing what they're doing is because they need to shake things up for things to change up. Not necessarily going about it in the right way, because violence begets violence, and that's no answer at all. Accountability, holding people responsible for shedding the light on the people that are causing the havoc and making them responsible, but holding responsibility and accountability within ourselves as well. Are we a part of the problem? Are we a part of the problem is that we're going about things the wrong way? Are we part of the problem is that we're ignoring what's going on? Are we part of the problem because we don't care, or we just don't want to know? La 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 la. And abstinence of participation will come back to bite you in the butt when somebody else's dictation is telling you what to do. So whatever's going on in our own lives, we need to stand up and be accountable for. Now, you may be victimized, and so it's your choice whether you're going to stay the victim or whether you're going to rise above and become something awesome because of it. Whether you're going to stand up for others and be a part of the chorus, whether you're going to take necessary harmonious action to hold people accountable. And that is bringing out the spotlight and putting it where they don't want it to be. The thing in Iran, yes, it's about oil, but it's more to do about the bloody Epstein files. So let's get the damn Epstein files out there and have done with it. And let's have this house of cards fall, because we need a clean slate. We're seeing a virus at the present moment have its pandemic. And that virus is the greedy and the opulent, the oligarchs, the dictators, the tyrants. And when we find a vaccine for that, which is you're voting, you're standing up, you're stepping up, you're speaking out, when that becomes the cure and that is then obliterated, then it comes into the consciousness rising. And that consciousness rising is that accountability of we're just not going to let that happen anymore, because we're not going to let any one person be allowed the power. You don't want an Elon Musk running AI and having access to all of your information and manipulating it. You do not want governments dictating and crippling you on your own choices. You do not want them to take your freedom away by taking your voice away. You do not want them to suppress you because of the color of your skin or your nationality or your sexuality. We do not want that. And what we do need to do is get rid of all of that that's in the way. And that means big, bright lights, consistent harassment on them until they break, until they've made one mistake too many. And finally, we can step in and arrest their sorry asses, pull the plug on their power. And I know they have all the money and they've all ganged together to power together, but let us be the Davids against the Goliaths, right? We're capable. Each and every one of us, if we all stood up, every drop in the bucket counts. And if we all step up for our fellow man, if we all step up for the next person, we will see the difference that we need to see. We would be the difference that we need to see. We have to take action. And these movies, however entertaining they all leave us with a message if we're willing to see it. Stop dividing. Stop dictating. Stop consuming by robbing others. We do need to look to a more level equality field. That doesn't take away from the people that work really hard to what they have to those that don't. Everybody's required to work hard. Everybody's required to step up. And for those that can't, through physicality, mental, they're people that have been chewed up and spat out, and this is the damage that's been done. So they may not be able to contribute in the same way, but how we treat them How we support them shows us how to step into humanity. So don't throw people away because they can't. Support them in who they are to show us that we can. So the time is here, the change is here. I didn't know I was going to talk about this today. I literally pressed record, wanted to talk about the movies, and this is where it's ended up. But it is a platform that I do speak a great deal about. If we want change, we have to be the change. If we want love, we must become the love. If we want peace, we must be the peace. And if we want really to make a difference in this world, then we need to come together. And it's as simple as that. The answer lies within you. What are you going to do? And I know you feel there is obstacle after obstacle in front of you right now, but all you do is face one obstacle at a time, and you keep pushing forward for what's right. You keep pushing forward against the tyrants. You keep pushing forward against the evil. You keep pushing forward to stand up for the equality of that peace, of that love, of that harmony. Because if we don't, you'll be swallowed up, you'll be spat out, and you'll be replaced. So let's not let their future of the extinction of the human race, with only a few being left, become to picture. Let's show them just how awesome the human race can be when we decide to come together. So until next time, folks, I hope that I've sparked a little thought in you today. I'd like you to look at the people around you, the people the closest, your children, your grandchildren, your brother, your sister, your best friend, your colleagues, and go, if in times of trouble, would I stand up with them? Would I stand up for them? Would I stand up for myself? Or am I just going to turn the other cheek and pretend it's not happening, only to find out I'm being swallowed up myself? Stand up, rise up, speak up, take action, one person at a time, one obstacle at a time, because we are the answer that we seek. Until next time, bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you to listen to right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Come and hear the illumination that's going to shed light on your path.
Find your path with the knowledge of others.